Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode. Thank you for everyone for your comments and your support with the channel. I'm glad you're enjoying what you're seeing here. I apologise for the floorboards. There is not an awful lot I can do about them at the moment. They are very creaky. As you can see, we're in a very old mill in the heart of Manchester, in Ancoats, but I'll try my best not to move around too much. Today we're going to start cleaning the rest of Harriet's, move over to her face. I'll probably do a longer segment on her face today, so that might be quite just as it is, just me cleaning away. What else do I need to do? I need to work on the drapes, and then hopefully after today we will be ready to get ready to do a barrier varnish and start filling. But the main thing today will be cleaning the face, and yeah, so welcome along. Please hit subscribe and like, leave some comments, and yeah, let's get going. So this background area I know is a landscape. I can see elements of trees and I can see clouds. So I started on that white section there because again it's the strongest pigment, and I know that my solution will be responding well to that. I'm checking that swab, moving my swab around to start softening certain areas, and just kind of gently working over this whole section to try and bring those colours through. You can see a little bit of blue coming through there. That's going to be elements of the sky, and then you can see the clouds starting to form there and start to show through. So yeah, I'm just going to keep moving those swabs around and softening everything, and start removing that varnish. Some areas are so stubborn, and there's the temptation to increase your formula and make your solution stronger just to work through quicker, but it's not worth it. If your solution's removing the varnish and you're not disturbing any paint layer, even if it takes a little bit longer, it's best to keep that solution as it is. As soon as you start experimenting and trying to go stronger, you might affect different pigments and different parts of the painting. So even though I might have wanted to increase the strength of my solution in the sky area, I just persevered, knowing that eventually I would get down to the paint layer, and it was the safest way to proceed. Okay, I'm really pleased with this cloud section here now. This is looking really nice, got some nice highlights coming through, and I've got this foliage of these trees. Looks like it goes down to a river here. Yeah, just going to carry on along this top section, maybe a little bit more on here, but she's looking good. So in the last episode you saw me cleaning all large elements of this painting, and that was like a first pass, if you like. So here you can still see there's residue in there, even though it's a lot cleaner than it was. There's still residue and varnish in these areas. So I'm just starting a second pass here to clean off the rest of what's left on the top of the painting. So this whole area will get a second pass, and it will take off any residue or anything that was dissolved and not fully removed. You can see that the colour's a lot paler than it was last time. This is still just residue of the varnish removing. So as I'm moving this cotton bud across the paint surface, I can roll it and that'll absorb the varnish and the solution and remove it fully from the painting. So you can see already straight away that this area now it's got far less residue on there than here. So I'll continue now across here. So now on this background, I'm just gently going over before I start cleaning to work out what's happening here. So I've got a neck line here and the collar comes around here. This tone's quite light, so I presume this is some kind of background foliage. And then we've got this big brown section that goes up, comes across here. So before I start cleaning, I'm just trying to assess what colours I'm expecting to come through from there, what the difference might be, and just get a bit of a plan together so that when I do actually start cleaning, I've got less surprises. So like for example, this collar is going to go brighter, but then at this point here it is going to darken up because we've got the shadow coming around here and these are brown tones and maybe an ochre tone. This is going to be considerably lighter. I think this is foliage maybe, like these trees on the other side here. This is going to be like a dark blue of the bonnet strap, and the bonnet strap comes around here, or ribbons rather. So there, what I might do is clean those down here, and that'll give me an indication of what that colour is going to be there. And the rest of the background, again, I'll not tackle this area yet, but this just needs cleaning and the rest of that removing. Okay, and then there's that second pass on there now, looking a lot better. Still a few bits in there, but nothing like it was before. Looking at the watch again now, I think I've got the short arm there, just past maybe 6 o'clock, and the long arm, so maybe 6:05. Make this an evening pose. Could well be. Just before she goes out to dinner. Okay, I've just stopped here because I was cleaning and I saw a date appear here, 1 and an 8. And then these kind of popped up as well at A-I-N-A-G. Then this looks like an R. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this looks like an R here. So that would tie in with the RR Rainagle theory. I'm not sure what's happening here, but definitely I-N-A-G-L-E here and the dates. So I'm just stopping. I'm going to document this and then I can kind of just make a decision on what the best thing to do is. Regards cleaning, I don't like cleaning their signatures, and I think sometimes for attribution it's best just to leave things as they are and let someone else make a call, but that looks very encouraging. When I use my solution further down, it's still just coming off brown, so it's not lifting anything, it's just lifting the dirt off there. But I just don't want to risk taking any of that signature off, but I would like to reveal it more, which is the frustrating aspect of it. So you can see that's still all just dirt, no red pigment at all. I just don't want to risk taking this up there and losing what little we have. I mean, when he signed this in red, it must have looked very subtle and very nice when it was first put on. Now it just has sat in there and it's just disappeared, or maybe something else has happened to it over the years, but yeah, kind of frustrating, but kind of cool to find it, but yeah, a little bit annoying that I just don't want to go too close to it, so I'm going to leave that where it is for now. Okay, so what I did was to take some photographs of that signature and I brought them into Photoshop, Just converted that to black and white and boosted the contrast a little bit, so I started to be able to see some of the letters coming through. So I was looking just for those stronger pigment areas, and you can see that I've got the A and the G and the L. And the L there, yes, coming through. And then what I did was put it back onto colour and then start highlighting in a new layer that signature, those where I could see those letters. And you'll see in the next clip here what I did, I created like a filter mask. So I'll just put that in, and those are the highlight pigments. So I just put some dots in there to show where I think the signature highlight pigments were. And then if you see that taken off, we've got the RR Rainagle, which is what we've been looking for. Hi, right, okay, so we've made good progress on the background of the painting now. Cleaned those drapes, found that signature or what's left of a signature. I also think that the foliage at the top of the painting has had some work done, and areas of address as well at the bottom, which I'll highlight and show you later on. Now I'm going to focus on the face, on Harriet's face. I'm going to start with a bonnet around the outside of her head, and then I'm going to work my way into those flesh tones. So hope you've enjoyed this segment. It's just going to be me cleaning away, and let's see what colours reveal. Okay guys, let's get going. So again, much like last time, you can see that I'm overlaid my solution on different parts of the painting to soften the varnish. And then I let that settle a little bit and work on another section, and then I might revisit another section that I've just cleaned as well. Constantly checking that swab, making sure that it's just the varnish that's coming off and the varnish colour is consistent on the swab all the time. Yeah, some real nice brightness coming through on this bonnet now. I'm really pleased with how she's looking. Okay, so I've just gone around the whole of the bonnet here now under hair, and then I started coming across the face. What was interesting, the colour of the residue on the swab was just kind of like the black dirt on there. It wasn't very yellowed like the rest of the varnish. So I carried on, and I think that the face has been cleaned before. You know, the amount of residue that was coming off was nowhere near as strong as it was in the rest of the painting. It was only when I went down that cheek area or on the neck that I actually picked up some of the brown varnish that was melting. But the majority of the face was fairly clean, really. So I think it may well have been cleaned in the past, or the face had been cleaned and the rest of the makeup of the painting hadn't. I'm not quite sure, but definitely the residue wasn't as strong. If you look there on the neck now, when that's coming off, it's that same thick brown, yellowy varnish. Whereas just on the face, it was just pale and nothing coming off. So yeah, that was my thoughts. But I'll carry on the face now and cleaning the rest of that off. And don't get me wrong, there is muck coming off there, just not to the same degree as everywhere else. So we've got some lovely sections here now. The blush of a cheek against the baby blue of that ribbon, it just poses really nice colour tones. You've got the highlight on the end of the nose, the highlights in her eyes. Just really, really nicely painted. It's such a deft hand to kind of put those tones together and create this moment in time. Like you can almost imagine her breathing, or just about to say something. But yeah, it's just wonderful. I just feel like that face now, even though it's not as dramatic as the rest of the painting, it's really coming to life now, and you can just see how good this artist was at rendering the face. It looks great. So yeah, just if you look at the residue on the swab here when it comes off the neck, it is that same dirty yellow-brown varnish, and I didn't get anywhere near that on the face, so I definitely do think for some reason that face has had a clean or was just cleaned independently of the rest of the painting. But yeah, just look at the colour of the varnish on that swab, it's so much darker than anything I removed off that face section. So now I'm just adding some mineral spirit to the canvas. I've finished cleaning this section now. The mineral spirit just kind of stops any other cleaning agents doing what they want to do, removes any residue that's on there, and it just gives me a chance to kind of see what's been done today and like consolidate the painting image so I can see exactly what's been removed and what still needs to be addressed. So we can see a real depth of tone in there now. Individual hairs, the highlights in her eyes, her eyebrows. Still some residue in there. I might need to make a second pass, but you can see the little brush strokes in the lace of her bonnet, the detail in her ribbon. Yeah, it's just really coming together now. Really pleased with it. Okay, I think I'm going to call it there for today. The light's going again now, but as you can see, upside down, we've made lots of good progress. There you go. Look at that. I don't even know what I'm pointing at. Background, face, bonnet, this section here. Yeah, so really pleased with how she's coming. Unfortunately, I've not got around to finishing the whole painting yet, so maybe next episode will be the final flurry of cleaning, and then we will get to the point where we'll be putting the barrier varnish on, filling and retouching, and then she'll be nearly ready to go. So thanks for sticking with me on this one. I know it's a longer episode. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, leave me a comment. I do read through them and I see what people are saying about the work I'm doing. So yeah, thanks for being along, and yeah, home time now. I wish it was Friday, it's not, it's Wednesday. But yeah, see you soon guys, bye. Here's today's swab pot. Some nice examples in here. Check this out. Why does that not work? How do I reverse this? Flip it. How do I flip it? Come on. Flip. Oh, I can't do this. Anyway, I've got a lovely swab pot. In this area here, taking greeny yellow varnish off an area that is greeny yellow is not fun.